That was my gym tune, man. That was the song that I listen to when I'm like just pulling up in the gym, just parking my car. For those that want to know, I mean, try and have a bad session after that. How's everyone doing, man? Happy Sunday. Can you all hear me and see me all right? Feels good to be back. Feels good to be back. Where's all those faces at, man? Everyone's still in bed. Everyone's in bed, aren't they? Let us know where you're coming in from in the chat, where you're representing. Okay, Dominic, you can keep your camera off. It's all good. All good, all good. Amazing. We got Scotland, Sicily, Essex, Birmingham, Australia. What's going on, man? Wow. Portsmouth, Hertfordshire, Plymouth. I'm actually in Bigbury, in Devon, Denmark. What's going on? Wow, wow, wow. Worcestershire, Bromsgrove. What's up? What's up? Amazing, man. Amazing. Cool. While these calls are recorded, I know that, some people they've got different things on the go. Some people go to church, some people got excuses. I understand. It's all good. Um, I love doing mindset calls because people don't realize that mindset's going to keep you going long term. Does that make sense? Like the get paid sessions, they're great, man. They're fantastic, and every single person should be on them, 100%. But if your main priority is getting on the get paid session and not developing your mindset, it's only going to be temporary. You need to understand that. Your mindset's everything, man, for real. But listen, guys, if you're brand new, if you're a guest as well, I want to give you a nice warm welcome. Obviously, my name's Jake Parton. I've been into personal development now for like 7 years. The reason I got into it is because I was super, super unhappy. And now, by the way, guys, like you ain't got to be unhappy to get into personal development. Personal development is it's to keep you strong. Like I still do personal growth today, not because I'm weak, but because I want to stay strong. Does that make sense? I'm far from weak. I've got a pretty strong mindset. But I do personal growth every day to remain strong. So I got into it because I was basically a part of the system that's created to keep people average. Like obviously, go to school, get good grades, get a good paying job, get further education, go to university, get a 9 to 5, work until you're 70, retire, potentially live another 10, 15 years, quote unquote, free with hardly any money. Um, and sort of pass that on to the next generation. So that was the sort of road I was on. And I realized when I was 24, 25, wow, like I'm doing everything that everyone else wants me to do. Right now I'm just doing everything that everyone else wants me to do. I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to do. Um, and I'm looking around at the evidence and I'm like, and to be honest, it hasn't worked for most people that I know. So like I started to feel a bit like why am I doing what I'm doing sort of thing. And that's when I got into personal development and obviously, found the information. Guess what? My life changed. All right. So does it work? Yes. Yes, it does work, but you got to work it. And today's call is all about that. Like and how because I got hold of some information where I was like, wow, so if I just work on these particular areas over and over and over again, my life's gonna keep getting better. Drop a yes in the chat if you want your life to just keep getting better. Just be honest. You ever met those people where there's always something going wrong in their life, whether it's the relationships, whether it's their money, whether it's their car, whether it's their job, whether it's their whatever. There's always something going wrong. There's always some sort of drama as to why they can't show up, why they can't go to the gym, why they can't win, why they. There's always something. Do you know why? Those people don't know how to control their mind. They don't know how to control their mind. They don't know how to control their belief system. All right. And it's going to be calls like this that you may know this information, but you've come today to guess what? Get stronger. Does that make sense? Like, guess what? I'm going to go to the gym today. I'm training with Aaron. I see Aaron on the line. I'm training, and we're going to do a lot of the same things that we've already done before in the past. Does that make sense? Every exercise that we've done that we're going to do today, guess what? We've done it before in the past. Why are we doing it then? To get stronger, to develop the muscles, guys. So you come to these calls, and yes, okay, you may hear me repeat myself, but that's good. You want to, you want to build those mental calluses, right? So you can go out there and actually face the challenges. Because guess what? The second that you decide to take your life to the next level, you're going to be smacked in the face with resistance. You are. Who's experienced that? Unfortunately, guys, that's the law of the universe, man. Law of polarity. Listen, I'm gonna go forward. Universe is like, okay, we'll see about that. We'll see about that, right? You're gonna be hit with all sorts of challenges, right? Because you have to pass the test to get the testimony. And the biggest test for most people, guys, to be honest, is the opinions of other people. It's the opinions of other people. People say, "Oh, those things don't work." They're trying to scam you. Da 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 da. Like, and to be honest, the biggest enemy. You've heard me say this before. I'll say it one more time. The enemy. I was on a call with someone in the week, and they were actually looking for reasons to quit this business. I'm like, bro, like everything you're saying right now, it's like just quit, just quit. It's all right. Like you're not impacting my life, bro. Just quit. Go back to being normal. Go back to being average. I understand why you feel the way you feel. That's why most people don't make it. So if you want to put yourself into the most people club, that's cool. I'm not going to convince you otherwise. Trust me. I'm still trying to convince me that this is a good idea. I'm still trying to convince Jake Parton. Why? Because my entire family's generation were average individuals. I love them to pieces, but guess what? They never really did anything of significance. So I'm still rewiring my mind after 7 years in the game. So it's important to develop a bulletproof mindset so you can actually face and the world right now. To be honest, but I've got some good news. The good news is this: it is very easy to win in 2025. It's very, very easy to win. Why is that? Most of the world, guys. I recommend everyone at least listening to this book, Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. The reason why it's super easy to win is because most people, oh my God, this is crazy. I've just opened the book. It says this. This is the devil speaking, by the way. So the question is, never mind about me. Tell me about this second best trick of yours, which you induce people to drift with you to hell. The devil says, my second best trick is not second at all, it's the first. It's the first because without it, I could never gain control of the minds of the youths. Guys, listen, I've just opened the page randomly to this. Ready for this? Parents, school teachers, religious instructors, and many other adults unknowingly serve the devil's purpose by helping me to destroy in their children, to destroying children the habit of thinking for themselves. So you see that? So like because you need to be careful who you're listening to. You need to be careful. You need to be self-aware of what's going on. And they do it unknowingly. It's not like, oh my God, it's not like you don't have to call your mom and say, you're in on it. You you ain't got to resent your family. You ain't got to resent your school teachers. They're doing the best that they can, guys. It's not their fault. All right, you are going to go through a stage of resentment like I did. Trust me, we all go through it. I remember first time reading Think and Go Rich. I was like, hang on a minute, why am I just being told about this now? Like, Dad, do you not want to? Like, this is mental. But what I'm trying to say is, this book it talks about most people are drifting. They've got zero goal. They've got no goal in life. They have no goal for this week. They have no goal for the end of the month. They have no goal for the end of the year. They don't really know what they want because they don't know what's acceptable. They don't know what's possible for them. They haven't decided what they want, so they're just drifting through life. So all you have to do in 2025 to win is just start a side hustle, listen to the right people, and actually just follow simple instruction because most people just won't do that. They just won't. What you need to understand is that your thinking is the reason why you're in the position that you're in. Your thinking, my thinking too. My thinking is the reason why I'm in this position. That's why I don't really do much thinking when it comes to my goal. You know what I do? I go to my mentor. I tell my mentor my goal and then let my mentor do the thinking for me. Hey, brother, so my goal is to do this in a short period of time. What would you do if you were me? I'd do this. Boom. You know what I do then, guys? It's gonna blow your mind. You know what I do? I do it. How mad's that? See how smart that is? So that's what separates winners to losers is that when I get an instruction, I do it. When others get an instruction, they don't do it. Does that make sense? They've got all of these. Yeah, but Jay, you don't know my situation. Yes, I do. It's very clear to see. In fact, it's extremely clear. I can see what you look like. I can see what I can smell what you smell like. Right? Your results stink. I can smell your results from here. They stink. Does that make sense? Your way's not working. Why not try mine? That's what my mentor told me. I was like, he's got a point, man. I want to write a book on success. Jake, hang on a minute. If you wrote a book on success, first of all, do you even know how to spell success? I was like, oh, yeah, it's a good point. If you wrote a book on success today, who would read it? I was like, my mom, my dad definitely wouldn't read it. My sister, she's like, Jake, just behave, man. Like, just let's actually lock in to a goal and actually let's just do it. Okay, I know it's scary because it does take courage to go all in, but you have to be all in. You can't be 50% in. You have to go all in. Have you seen them people that are 50% in the gym? They look the same 6 months from now. You all know what I'm talking about. You see them in the gym on the tricep machine doing it all wrong, and they look the same, the exact same. I see people in this business. They've been in the business for and nothing's changed. I'm like, come on, man. See, I want to get better. Drop a yes in the chat if you want to get better for your family. Yes, for your family. Better for your family. Of course, man. It's going to take courage. It's going to take courage. It's going to take a lot of courage, man. All right. But guess what? You're in business for yourself, but in this business, you're not in business by yourself. We've got your back. You're one phone call away from being put back on a good frequency. You all know that, right? You all know that. Any one of you can give me a call today. Any one of you on this line, give me a call today. If I don't answer, I'll always call back. You all know that. But what we do is we avoid that. We avoid that phone call because we know that we're not doing our best. I know who's working because they call me. Now look, an extra 1,000 a month puts you miles above most people. You're aware of that? That's an extra 12,000 a year. Imagine going to your boss tomorrow and say, "Hey, listen, man, I've been thinking. This guy last night, I was on a call Sunday morning, and this guy from Birmingham, he told me that we become what we think about and we can have what we want. So listen, I've come into this office today. So listen, I want a £12,000 a year rise, please." Does it work like that? He's gonna say, "Listen, there's the door. Go back to work." So if you can join something like this and get to an extra 1,000 a month, like wow, like congratulations, guys. Congratulate, whether it's for the trading or whether it's for the business. And the cool thing about it is this, Harry, once you get to 1,000 a month, guess what? Everyone else around you is going to ask you how you did it, and you have the ability to show others. That's what happened to me. I didn't have a big goal, a financial goal when I started. Like Bob was like, turn your annual income into your monthly income. So obviously I wrote it down because I'm coachable, but I didn't really believe it. What I secretly really wanted was just to quit my job, to be honest. Go to the gym 2 hours a day, just chill out. And what happened is when I did quit my job, I had people around me saying, Jack, how did you do that? Can you show me? And then what happened is I showed them, and before you know it, my income started to go crazy because I was helping other people get what they want. But you have to lead by example first. Okay, so let's get right into the information. And so this call is about your belief system. Are you all aware that your lifestyle today looks like it does because of your belief system, because of what you believe? That's your, that's why your life looks like the way it is because of your belief system. Okay. Now, the good thing about this information is that I'm going to give you some practical things to actually do on a daily basis to actually change your belief system. Okay, so there's four things that impact your belief system. There's four things that impact your belief system. Okay. The first one is environment. If you're taking notes, one for your notes. what impacts your belief system? Because you want to kind of do a self inventory, to be honest, after this call, and be like, okay, so this is the life I'm living. This is where I'm at, mentally, physically, financially, emotionally, relationships. This is where I'm at. Okay, I've got to this point because of four things. Number one, my environment. What is in my environment? What is my environment? My environment is what I can see, hear, smell, taste, and touch on a daily basis. Okay, see, I'm from Birmingham, right? Now, when I lived in Birmingham, surprisingly enough, wasn't my dream location. Okay, just nothing wrong. No offense to any Brummies on the line. I still love you in my heart. But it wasn't, surprisingly enough, where I vision myself ending up in life. So you know what I did? I put around me images. See, if you can't control where you live right now, maybe because of financial restraints or job stuff like that, what you can do is you can control your environment at home. Makes sense. You can put around your like you can have a room dedicated to your vision. You can have a room, you can have a dream board, you can have goal cards, right? You can have there's three real things that impact that actually reinforce the belief system. The first thing is words, the second thing is images, and the third thing is emotions. So if you know what I did? I actually put words and images around my environment when I lived in Birmingham. I still do it to this day. If you come to my house where we live right now and walk into my living room, I've got books all along the top of the because I've got shelves right all around the entire living room. I've got books that have changed me and my wife's life as and because they're words, right? Think and Grow Rich, The Science of Getting Rich, Asking It Is Given, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, right? There's so many what's that book called Faith, right? The Bible's there. I mean, guys, if you saw this, I've got like Think and Grow Rich here, Rich Dad Poor Dad, Cash Flow Quadrant. There's so many words and things in my environment that remind me of, guess what, where I'm going. So if I was to walk into your house, it should be very clear that you are a growth-minded individual. It should be very clear to me where you are going. Does that make sense? Like you walk into my kitchen, we've got a whiteboard just there, and there's like a to-do list for the day, a to-do list for the week. In the top right-hand corner of the whiteboard, I can't help but see it every day. My income goal, how much money I want saved, how much money I want invested, just there, right there. I have to see it every day. On the back of my phone, I have to see my goal every day. I've got goal cards that I carry around with me. Every time I get my card out to pay for something, it's I actually make it. It's actually annoying. My goal card actually annoys me. Do you know what? I've got one of those things at the back of your phone. To get like your cards and stuff out. It's every day. I'm like, fuck's sake, what's this goal? I have to like get the goal card out the way, but guess what? I'm seeing it now. I'm like, fuck, okay, okay. Yep, 2 seconds. Yep, yep. Beep. Mm-hmm. Right. So my goal annoys me. I put it purposely in places that I'm gonna see it every day. I'm gonna go to my mirror. For those that have been to my house, it's funny whenever I have the cleaners around or anyone. Let's say we're having like decorating done or something. I don't. I purposely leave it there because they're like, this guy's crazy. If you look at my bathroom mirror, there's questions all around the mirror. Why am I so great? Why is this so easy? Why does everyone love me? Why am I such a magnet to money? Right? Why do I have so many leaders joining my business? And I brush my teeth like, this is crazy, man. So imagine, imagine if you set your environment up where it's like almost impossible for you to harbor a negative thought. Makes sense. So number one is your environment. I always, I mean, guys, I used to get back from my 9 to 5 where I lived in Birmingham, and then go out the house like get like immediately and go to a nice hotel, go to a nice restaurant, a nice hotel. On the weekends, I wouldn't spend time in my house. I'd go to the wealthiest roads in Birmingham. The roads that are like gated communities. Just drive in them. It would just be confidence, just pretending that I live there. Excuse me. Yeah. and park up and walk around like I lived in that neighborhood and still do the same things. Like if I was gonna make phone calls, if I was gonna just chill out, like I just get out of my environment because I know that my belief system was going to manifest and attract some crazy things. Guess what, guys? You'll be amazed that when you start doing this, the people that you bump into on accident, the people that randomly pop in your inbox asking to get started in your business, the ideas that you attract, because you see, all the ideas for you to create wealth are already existing in the universe. You have to know how to tap into them. And you do that by doing exactly what I'm saying right now. So, number one is your environment. Number two, guys, is the people in your life. The people in your life. This is by far the biggest thing, but we'll go back to it in a second. The people in your life obviously impact your belief system. Bob Proctor said that your environment, meaning the people in your life, are more important than heredity, meaning the people that you choose to associate with today are more important than who brought you up because you didn't choose who brought you up. Does that make sense? You didn't choose your mom and dad, right? They chose you, right? So, but with that being said, they're the reason why you're living the life you're living right now. Okay, perfect. That's cool. Are you going to be a victim or are you going to start chatting? They're not the reason why you're going to live the life after this call. Does that make sense? Because I just gave you the reason to change. So again, my life changed when I started to say no to the party. When I left the lads group chat, right? I started to say no to doing what I was doing, man. I never forget. I was watching. I went to Villa Park and I watched Jack Grealish walk out on the football pitch, and I'm sat next to this, like, obviously just not someone I wanted to be, right? And he's just eating chips and curry sauce, like calling the ref a wanker and all sorts. Like, this is crazy. I look at Jack Grealish. I'm thinking, he's my age. He's about to go home, watch himself on Match of the Day. With probably go home to a nice looking lady. He's got a nice car, and I'm over here in the stands watching someone else live their dream life. I made a decision that day. I'm never going back to Villa unless I'm making 10,000 a month. And I never did. And when I went back to Villa Park, guess what? I was making 10,000 a month. Why? Because I know I had to change. I had to change. You have to sacrifice a chapter of your life, guys. So the people in your life, like who you around, who are you around right now? You actually physically cannot be around people that do not agree with what you do. You can't be around people who are walking in the other direction. Okay, you cannot be around people, guys, because they're literally pulling you in the other direction. Imagine you got a rope attached to you, and they've got a rope attached to them, and they're walking that way, you're walking that way, guys. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. It's going to be a massive tug of war, and they're actually stronger than you as well. What does that mean? Because you don't forget, before you got into this information, you are, that was the frequency that you're on. You've got a lot of that conditioning still to flush out. Like when my mom told me that Bob Proctor was scamming me, don't go to Toronto to this seminar, I actually, 60, 70% of me believed her. Why? Because it's my mom. It's my mom. But 30% was like, no, it's not. I've got to go after my goals and dreams. That's why I understand when people join this business and they end up quitting in their first week, in their first 2 weeks. I get it. I used to resent it and I'd be like, oh, you're not strong enough, but I do get it. I actually get it. I mean, I don't resonate. I don't relate to it, but I understand it. I don't relate. I'm not a quitter. I don't listen to losers, so I'd never do that. But I understand why people come to me with what, with doubts and concerns. I do. Because we're not taught how to make decisions in school. So the people in your life, guys, like, you are going to become a product of your environment. By you hanging around people that are making more money than you, that are more focused than you, that are more confident than you, that are in better shape than you have to level up. The people are either pulling you down or pulling you up. They're either bringing you into the future or they're keeping you in your past. They're either celebrating you or they're tolerating you. Does that make sense? You've got to be careful with who you're around, man. If you want to find out who your true friends are, set a goal and actually start taking action towards it. Your true friends will reveal themselves. Trust me, they really will. Started your own business, you get 4 likes. Get a promotion at work, you get 400 likes. Huh? Keep an eye on those 4 likes who started your own business. Trust me. The ones of the 400, they want you to stay the same. Do you know why people have got an issue with you leveling up? In their mind, they've actually already been in your future with you. Let me put it into perspective. The reason why people get a bit weird when you start leveling up is because in their mind, they've already pictured you doing XYZ in the future. The second you start to do something different, they have to readjust to your new potential future. So like, hang on a minute. I thought Harry was going to be like just a normal person. Hang on a minute. He might be rich. They have to readjust their whole emotional because that's what we do. We compare ourselves to the people in our life. We're like that person's better than us, and that's okay because maybe they were born into this family, and I can handle that. I'm definitely making more money than this person. I'm better than this person, so that's all good. Does that make sense? That's how most people think, guys. I'm letting you know. Like when someone makes more money than you, you're like, oh, I gotta admit, yeah, that must be because, and you start to, no, no, here's what it is, guys, is that it's you. Like you are in control of your life. They're your results. How silly would it be to blame other people for the results that you're getting when they're your results? So number two is the people in your life. Number three, guys, is the information. The information that you're constantly downloading. What information are you listening to? What information are you reading every day? Are you listening to every day? You see, my mentor first told me, Jake, turn your car into a university. Every time you get in your car, listen to an audiobook, listen to a podcast, listen to something that's gonna take you, into a better place. I used to listen to songs all the time and just listen to other people's lyrics of songs. That wasn't getting me rich. It wasn't making me happier. It wasn't making me healthier, or happier, healthier, and wealthier. What it was doing, it was just building their business. So instead, I'm like, listen, let me listen to Bob Proctor. Let me listen to Jim Rohn. Let me listen to, some Alex Morton. Let me listen to some Timothy Hurl. Let me listen to some David Ameniti. Let me listen to some Brian Tracy, right? Some John C. Maxwell, some leadership stuff. Your paradigm's not going to want to do it, guys. You want to listen to music? I get it. I know you want to listen to music. I get it. What I'm saying is, though, you have to want the better life more than you want your current life. Still be grateful. Like me and my wife, we love our life, but I'm a goal achiever. So when I set goals, I'm like, I want to get the goal done. It took a tick box, and I'm not happy until I've got that goal done. I'm like, and I'm setting the next one because that's what makes me happy. That's what makes everyone happy. In fact, you have to be like blissfully dissatisfied with your results. You have to be grateful but pissed off at the exact same time. Does that make sense, guys? That's the perfect balance. You can't be frustrated. You have to still be grateful, man. Like no one's gonna join or follow a frustrated leader. They're not. Like here's a little tip. When you're with the family, be with the family. When you're at the beach, be at the beach. And when you're doing your work, do your work. Does that make sense? Because a lot of people, what we do is when we're with the family, we're thinking about work. When we're at work, we're thinking about the family, and we're never anywhere. We're never anywhere because we're never actually present in the moment. That'll be my advice, man, over this next week. When we just like be super focused on to follow one course until successful, man. Okay, so information, what goes in creates a formation. Makes sense. People say, oh, I've read Think and Grow Rich, but because your life doesn't look like it yet, you maybe need to read it one more time. I listen to the same audio, guys. Like, you will not believe. Some of you, if you spent a week with me, you'd get in my car and you'd be like, you've got to be kidding me. Again, yeah, the same video, the same hour-long video. Yeah. And then when it finishes, you hang on a minute, you put the same video back on, just again. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Why? Because I've got a result. I'm looking for a certain outcome, right? It is weird. I get it. I do get it. I don't read that many books anymore. I just read chapters, just certain chapters over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Because there's a lot of things in books that you don't even, I mean, there's not that much. The main thing to get from this book is the fact that without a goal, you're basically letting the devil control you like a puppet. And there's two things that human beings struggle to control, and that is the desire for sex and the desire to eat food. They can't control their food, they can't control their sexual desires. So if you can control those two things and have self-discipline in those two areas whilst having a goal, you're unstoppable. Unstoppable. That's the main thing from that book. You don't even need to read it now. I'm not even joking. Like, not you don't need to read it. It's still worth listening to though, because it will freak you out a little bit. The fourth thing that impacts your belief system is experiences, life experiences. Who's been through some like traumatic life experiences? Drop a yes in the chat. Who's been through some like traumatic life experiences that have like stayed with you to this very moment? You see what I'm saying? Like, see, life experiences, we never forget them. I remember silly things that I never forget. I went to the airport the once, and the Real Madrid team was there. But when Nicolas Anelka played for him, Zinedine Zidane, Seedorf, and I was getting photos like the classic team. Some of you like, I have no clue what you're talking about. That's okay. I got another story in a second. You're gonna have some similar stories. I went to take a photo of one of the football players, and he just like shrugged me off, and I was in a little. I remember my dad stepping in and calling this and really getting in this professional football player's face and telling him about himself. I never forget that moment, man. It's one of those moments. Another one, another airport moment. Went to remember, the watches, Swatch watch. The Swatch that make. My dad was like, Jake, little treat, mate. I want to get you a Swatch watch. You can have any one you want. Has anyone been in those shops? There's so many. There's hundreds. And I'm there. My dad just told me I can have any one. Oh my gosh. What I did, guys? I broke down in tears. I couldn't choose. I couldn't choose which watch I wanted. you know, Obviously there's a lot of more traumatic moments, which I'm not going to get into right now. I don't want to make everyone cry. There's been some crazy ones as well. Do you know what I mean? But what I'm trying to say is these moments, we have loads of moments that stay with us, right? I've seen my parents struggle financially. I've seen them go through different things in the relationships. And what it does, it creates our belief system, right? It creates our belief system. So what you have to do is, if you're intentionally um, wanting to change your life and change the people around you's life, you have to learn from these experiences and actually create scenarios that are against them. So like for me to be a good husband, I have to basically do the complete opposite to what my dad did. Does that make sense? Which is a daily self-awareness. I have to daily be aware of what I'm doing because the natural instinct in me wants to self-sabotage the relationship. Same when it comes to making money. I have to be very aware of what I'm thinking. Wow, that's a lot of money. Hang on a minute, Jake. What do you mean that's a lot of money? A lot of money compared to what? A lot of money compared to who? Well, that's hard. That's unrealistic. Compared to what? Who told you that? So your life experiences, you can set up better life experiences. Me and my wife, we make it intentional. We kiss and cuddle in front of our children on purpose. You know what I mean? I'm just talking about little things that you can do. You can recreate, restructure the people around your life experiences. I like to be a good friend. Why? Because I've experienced bad friends. Does that make sense? I've had bad experiences with friends in the past. So what I've done is I'm saying, listen, I don't ever want to make anyone feel the way this person's made me feel. I'm going to go above and beyond and be a good friend. I've had good leaders. I've had bad leaders in network marketing. Guess what? Taking the information. It's not their fault, but let me take the information. Let me take that life experience. Let me become a good leader. Like I take pride in knowing that I do. The biggest thing I focus on every day is can I do everything that I can do to make sure the people inside my organization I've got the best chances of winning. As long as I take care of that, I don't care if people quit. I don't care if people talk negative. I don't care if people come to me with complaints. Why? Because I know what I'm doing. That's all you need to focus on as a leader too. Does that make sense? So the four things, guys: environment, what you hear, see, smell, taste, and touch on a daily basis. Number two, the people in your life, who is in your life, who you associating with. Are they still text you saying, "Come down the pub"? Wrong people. Make sense. I just texted someone this morning saying, "Man, listen, man, I was hanging yesterday." I said, "Bro, no more alcohol until you're rich. Deal? Stop it." Do you know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? Otherwise, it's never gonna happen, man. Relax. Um, the people in your life, information, life experiences, words, images, and emotions. Okay, so the whole focus is November 1. Here's what I want everyone to think about right now. November 1. Okay. What's your goal for November 1? What is it? What's your goal for like, what rank do you want to be at? What income do you want to be at? What do you want to look like? What do you want to sound like? How do you want to be? Right? How do you want to who do you want to be? If that's the case, what's your goal for this week? Right? What's your goal for this week? If you're struggling for a goal, if you're struggling for a plan, just call your mentor, call someone, call your golden above leader, call someone who's maybe a little bit further ahead than you. They'll be able to help you with a plan. Okay. Super simple, guys. If you just have a plan for this week, you are basically in the 5% club. You're in the 5% club. If you've got a goal for November 1 and you actually mean it and you're fired up about it and you have a plan for this particular week, you are in the 5% club. That's what I want everyone to focus on. Just let's take it week by week. You ain't got to like look at the top of the mountain. Let's look down at your feet at the rocks that are at our feet. That's the problem with most people. They visualize all this up, but they keep tripping over the rocks at their feet. I want to be a millionaire. Okay, have you got to six figures yet? No, let's make that the focus. Well, six figures doesn't excite me. I know that, but are you aware that six comes before seven? I wasn't, guys, listen, I wasn't good at maths, but some of this stuff I learned like, whilst I was teaching my son how to count his toes. Do you know what I mean? Like six becomes before seven. So you are gonna have to go through six to get to seven. So let's get to six. Like, does that make sense? So like obviously that you're gonna be on the right track. Well, 2,000 a month doesn't excite me, guys. Again, four comes five figures a year comes before six figures a year. Does that make sense? Like, come on, like, so it's don't look at the initial goal like that doesn't excite you. Think long term, man. Think long term. Like, I'm not stupid. I'm not going to go to the gym this week and expect to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger by the end of the week. But listen, if I have a good week in the gym, guess what? That's a good step in the right direction. Do you all agree? Same hit. So as long as you're stepping in the right direction, that's the main thing. That is literally the main thing. Can you do more this week than you did last week? You are now on the winning track. That's literally it. All you can do is your best. You can't do any more than your best. Like I see people with kids, like, I see people with like different, they work crazy hours. They've got a negative spouse. They've got all these variables. I get it, man. It's tough. Do your best. That's it. Look, I'm not saying like, kill everyone. I'm not saying like I'm not saying to go above and beyond and I expect it to become like this ultimate superhuman being in 24 hours and like morph into like some sort of I don't know. Like, no, it's not gonna happen that way. You know, you have to just do your best every day. Again, I use the gym. You walk into the gym, you're not going to go from not ever lifting to like pick squatting two plates or benching two plates. You have to work your way up to it. Same thing, right? If you've got a negative spouse, what can you do to create a positive spouse? You know, maybe give her a compliment. Someone's got to break the cycle. Oh, well, she should do this. He should. That's correct. He should. She should. But you know what? They're not gonna if you don't change. Someone has to break the cycle. Okay, don't get into arguments with people. Relate to them. Well, no one's supporting me. They're not supposed to support you. That makes me laugh. No one's supporting me. I'm like, hang on a minute. Would you haven't been supporting you up to this point, bro. You've got no evidence. Absolutely no. And all of a sudden you wake up because you've decided to become successful, everyone else has to support you. Go and get some results. Makes sense. Go out there and get some results, man. You don't even deserve anyone supporting you just yet. How dare you? Entitled. Does that make sense? Well, I'm doing it for them. Yeah, no, but you ain't done nothing up to this point. They've got no reason to believe in you. Let's change, let's grow, let's level up, let's get better, right? Let's set the tone. What happens is most of you, I'm gonna win. You tell your family, I'm gonna win, and then the next thing you're out the weekend having a piss up with the lads. No wonder they don't believe in you. Stop talking shit to them. I'm gonna get in good shape. You come home, you're eating chocolate. What are you doing? No wonder they don't believe in you. You're not about it. You're not about. Don't even open your mouth unless you're willing to walk. Make sense? That would be my advice. That way, then you're going to get a lot more people believing in you, man. Say no to things that are not. See, when I got into this business, guys, I used to love football. I was actually really good at football, semi-pro. Once I realized that I wasn't going to become professional, I was like, well, let me just hang up my boots then. I immediately stopped playing football. Mom calls me, Jay, do you want to come out for the? No. Why? I've got stuff to do, man. Does that make sense? I've got things that I need to complete. We saw someone in the gym the other day. They were like, "Wow, no way, man!" Like, so how old is your son? Two. My son's just about to go to secondary school. Do you know what? Time will go like this. And I said, exactly. That's why I need to be productive today. That's what I was thinking. I didn't say it right. I didn't say it to him. He's like, trust me, mate. Before you know it, they're going to be walking, talking, giving you attitude. I said, listen, I know that's why today I'm making the most of today because most people just let the days run into the next days, run into the next days. And before you know it, who's ever done it? You look at Facebook 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, you're like, wow, no, oh my gosh, this is crazy. You got to make the most of today, man. All right, I'll take a couple questions. We can start recording.